Hello, welcome to the You've Changed podcast. My name is Kate Barron. And this is the podcast where I talk to people in the entertainment industry about moments in their life that have changed them and altered the path that they're on. Today, I have the fantastic comedian and viral sensation, Jack Skipper. Welcome.
Oi, oi. Here I am. I'm here.
Do you like being called a viral sensation?
Yeah, well, not in a sort of STD sense, though.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I dated a couple viral sensations in my day. It wasn't a great time.
This guy's massive.
No, I have a gold record. I have never, I swear to God, knock on wood, I've never had an STI. And I think for someone...
Me neither.
Yes,
yeah,
amazing.
The No STI podcast.
I love this. I've never had it go here so quickly, but I love that we're there. How are you? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good. I'm very good. I was fretting before whether to leave my jumper on or take it off, but then we realised if I get warm, I could just take it off.
You could just take it off. There's no big pressure. But isn't that such a fucking weird thing that we as comics have to be like, okay, well, you got to go up there, and if you're on stage, you do like I wore a jumper on stage the other night at Top Secret, but you got to do 20 minutes downstairs and go upstairs and do 20 minutes, and I was sweating by the time I came off the second one because you're just it's boiling hot in those rooms. Do not breathe. Like, don't tell me those rooms aren't on fire.
But also, it's like you got to feel comfortable in what you're wearing on stage. Because do you know sometimes you ever do that thing where you say just go for a night out and you don't feel really confident in what you're wearing and it's on your mind. If you're on stage thinking, I regret wearing this.
Yeah, and people take photos of you or take a video back. I once was like, oh, this new pair of trousers I got, they look so good. I love how they are. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? I look back and I was like, I want to use the clip because the whole bit was amazing and I wanted to use clips from it. But I looked so bad in my own eyes that I could not use it because I was like, it looks disgusting. Like I look pregnant, I look fucked up. Yeah. And I just couldn't bring myself to use it.
Well, I do it with my videos as well. Like I'll do a video and I'll notice I've got like something on my shirt or like something in my teeth.
Oh my God, yes. Will you tell somebody if they have something in their teeth if you're talking to them? No. See, no, you got to.
I can't.
Women are much better for that, I feel, because they go, oh, you have mascara under here, you got something, or lipstick on your teeth or something like that, because it's like, help somebody out.
Am I all right now? Are you trying to say something?
No. Your breath stinks. There's nothing in it.
No, I'm not one of them people. I find anything like that really awkward.
Are you an awkward person?
Yeah.
A lot of comics are like more like, you think they're all like, oh, big personality and this and that, but then in social situations, we're all just kind of like, hey, man.
Yeah, no, I'm in my head a lot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know how to, like, just a simple, any sort of interaction is like, I find it, I'm getting better. I am getting better at it, but I think, generally, I go, just fine. But the thing is that now it's like, I embrace it because I think this is funny.
I mean, and you just have to, but I get awkward after shows when people come up and they're like, oh, can I take a picture? Can I chat with you? And you're like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm getting better at taking compliments.
Yeah,
that's a real problem I had for ages. Of like, I didn't know how to. It's the classic thing of someone pays you a compliment and you just put it down, whatever you've done. They go, oh, that was great. You go, oh no, there was that bit in the middle. I realised this is the thing. If someone pays you a compliment, right, this is a great way to make yourself. What you do is you go, that's so nice of you to say. So you sort of compliment them back, and do you know what I mean? It makes you feel like.
Rather than just saying thank you, like, that was really nice of you to say that.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's good, isn't it?
It's sort of like the same thing. Have you heard about this whole, like, instead of, because people are constantly apologizing, oh, I'm so sorry I'm late, or I'm so sorry I did this, or I'm so sorry. They're like, don't be that. Just go, thank you so much for your patience.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for waiting for me. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me. Instead of going like, oh, I'm so sorry I'm emailing you, be like, thank you so much for hearing me out.
It's like exactly that. It's also like, like we say, because comedians are they're all sort of down on ourselves quite a bit, and it's quite a thing. But it's like if you pay someone, oh, that was really good, and you mean it sincerely, and then they start going, oh well, and I think, well, I'll fucking take it back then.
Yeah,
just take the compliment, man.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Just like, or it's like my opinion doesn't mean it. I'm telling you, I think it was good. You telling me I'm wrong?
Oh, that is true. It is like your compliment doesn't mean anything or your opinion doesn't mean anything. I actually never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're dismissing that person and what they're saying because you're just going, oh, no, but you think you're being like humble.
It's actually rude. So just take the compliment.
Okay. You can tell me I'm beautiful, and I will thank you for taking it, for giving it. Thank you.
There you go. Well done.
That's just
you didn't do it right.
Oh, sorry. I got up.
That's so nice.
Haven't been called beautiful today. It's been great. That's very nice of you to say.
There you go.
And to recognize my beauty. That's really smart of you to do.
Thank you for saying thank you.
I love it. But you when we met only, have we only gigged together that one time at Backyard?
I think.
Oh, no, we did another time.
Really early on. I think I was in Battersea. I was with Matt Richardson and I was really new.
Was I a bitch? Was I nice to you?
It was all right.
Okay. I always wonder how I am. Like, I try to be nice to everyone. The only people I'm not nice to are people who have really big egos.
Yeah.
And then they go on stage and bomb and they're shit. And then I go,
Yeah.
you can't have that ego and you can't.
No,
those two
there's an
can't
imbalance
compute.
there.
Because I met somebody and they were like, I do this and that and I'm big and like I gig in the States and like I'm so good and I've done this and I've done that. So I was like, okay. So I was just like, you can, I'll sort of help guide you to the show. I have a real thing about vouching for people now. I have to like really be sure of who you are before I vouch for you.
Yeah.
For a booker. And then they went on and they ate shit. Like, yes. And not even
yes.
When it's like somebody we can all recognize, that was funny. That was a weird night. The audience was a bit weird. They were drunk, whatever. But then someone, you just go, objectively, you are a bad comedian. You will never make it. Kill yourself. That's what I wanted to tell this person. But they were like, I'm fucking hot shit. I'm this, I'm that, and the other. And they were trying to tell me that like everyone thinks they're so sexy and all. It was a wild, out of touch conversation. And then when they bombed, I was like, God, I hope that's not me.
Humbled.
I hope that's not me. And I don't even think they were humbled. I think they were like, man, fuck this crowd. They actually told me that their jokes don't work in clubs because they are too intellectual.
Yeah.
And they're too smart. So like club audiences are dumb and they don't get it. And they're like, club comics are just like, they pander. I'm like, well, I'm a club comic. So fuck you.
And that's the thing with me. Like I go the other way because I'm so uneducated, so dumb.
Like I'm just
I lean into that. I mean, it's like.
But also, why is that? It's so funny that people who want to be these like little intellectuals, they think that's like better than relating to people on a more common ground. If your material isn't good enough to relate to the mass amount of people. So you're not good. The most intelligent people in the world can break down a complex topic so that anyone can understand it. That's the real sign of intelligence.
Also, it's like you're not intelligent enough to know that you're shit.
Exactly. And you can't read the room. You have no fucking awareness.
I honestly think the highest form of intelligence, and I honestly mean this, is self-awareness. Yeah. It's the highest form because it's how you communicate, how we are in day-to-day life. You can know loads of stuff from a book or whatever, but it's not in them sort of situations that ain't going to help you at all. So I think that literally is the highest form of intelligence.
Which is hard for us because it's like the more you get into something, the more you're aware of, like I geek out on comedy and I love comedy and I love watching it. And the more you get into it, the more I've gotten into it, the more I realize how far I have to go. Yeah. Because I realize do you know Ira Glass? He's a podcaster in the States. He has This American Life. It's a great podcast. He basically talks about you get into something, music, arts, entertainment, whatever, because you love that thing. Yeah. So we love comedy, so we're in comedy. But then when you get into it and you really geek out on it, there is a time where your taste level will not match your skill level. And in that sort of space is where it's a really hard struggle because it's after you get into it because you go, I love this, I want to do this, I can do this, but my taste levels are here and my ability level is here. Yeah. And it's a really hard to like push through that to get up to your own taste level. And I think that's the thing. The more we get into it, I don't know if this is true for you, but I see like, I want to be on bills with comics who are way fucking better than me, but then also at the same time, it makes me go, fuck. Yeah. But I think I need that. Yeah. To keep me on my toes. Like, you don't want to be the best person on the bill always, because then that'll just be like, you don't want to be the best in a group of mediocre people. No, that's exactly it. Like if you spend too much time around that, and you see people doing that, don't you? And they'll just keep going back to the same places. Yeah. Like this, their safe zone. I go towards the stuff that I find uncomfortable, or because I just know that's the way you grow. I put that pressure on myself. I have opportunities, like because I haven't even going that long, but because like the way things have worked out for me, I get like bigger opportunities, and I'm probably not ready for them. Yeah. But I've always had the mentality of just do it, fuck it, and just learn on the job. Just learn on the job. I mean, you kind of have to. You kind of have to put yourself out there. There's something to learning on the job, and then also I do have respect for it because I'm not able to turn down opportunities. If someone's offering me money and an opportunity to do something, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll do it. I'll just learn. But then people who just go, I'm not ready for this yet, I'm gonna say no to this. And I do have a respect for that. Yeah. I don't have it in me, but I have a respect for that person to do it. Yeah. Because I can appreciate that you're saying you're not ready and you don't want maybe your first TV thing to be not great. You'd rather wait till you're, but then I sort of think like, don't bite the hand that feeds you. And if it's there being offered to you right now, how do you just go like, no, I don't want it, because then it might not come back. Well, there's also, there's that balance. I've had a couple of opportunities lately where I've had to work, because I manage myself. I've done it major and everything. Like
but I've had to, because I've been doing it like as long as I have now, not which isn't that long, but I've learned what to say no to and what not specifically for like I'm not ready for it, but just that will just damage.
Not the right fit.
Yeah, that'll. But when you're early on, just big things come at you. You go, yeah, I'll do it, just because it's exciting. But now, but I say a couple of things later, I've gone, oh no, that's just gonna make me look bad. I'm not gonna do that.
How long have you been doing comedy for now?
That'll be 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I mean, it's amazing that you're as good as you are 2 years in. I think you were
That's
one
so
of those.
nice of you to say.
Very well done. Very well done. But you're one of those comics I think that other people look at who have been going a lot longer than you and they just go, fuck. Because I do think there is something to, I think you can grow, and I think this is an industry where you can train yourself to be better and you can get better, but there are just some people who just have it. And I think, especially when we just did that last show together, when I was watching you, I was just like, he just has it.
Oh,
he has that thing. He has, you have that thing. And I think you are so relatable. And the way you come out, and maybe because I grew up like working class as well, you're working class and you come out as like, you're just like, I'm just the every man.
Yeah.
But I just am real and I want to be funny and relate. And everyone just, you're very likable on stage.
Oh, thank
you.
This isn't
trying to blow smoke up your ass.
Yeah.
This is just generally me because I'm such a fan of comedy. I like watching people and I don't get surprised often. And I haven't been going like in comedy terms, not that long. I've been going 7 years, and 4 years in this country. And often when a comic sets up a joke, I already know the punchline. I know where this is going. I know where the story's going. I can already see your punchline before. But you surprised me. And there were moments in your set where there was like a twist or a moment that I'm like, oh. And that to me stands out above all else because of how much comedy I consume.
Oh, thank you. No, I'd say that's the thing. It's like hearing that from other comics. That's what I buzz off.
Yeah.
Like, I have like things happen to me now because of like the online stuff, and I feel very, very lucky, and I do find it all exciting. But when I hear it from other comics, I go, oh yes, it's like that sort of. It's that seal. It's your peers, isn't it? It's that seal of approval, I suppose. So
it is like you want to be respected by the people. That's what I always like. You want to be the comics comic. You also want commercial success, and you want stuff because you don't want to be the comics comic who everyone goes, oh, that guy should have made it.
Yeah,
he should have done well for himself, but he's still, doing the club gigs 40 years on, and he's kind of slogging it out in a green room and not, barely living off of a thing and taking trains all over the country. I don't want to be that.
Yeah,
but I want to have the respect of the peers, but I also want more.
Yeah, exactly. I do work at it though. Really, like, it's also with me. It's like it's like an obsession. It's not like choosing to work on it. Oh, I'm going to do this today because I'm going to. This is how. It's just like from the moment I wake up, like it's just I can't. It's like a thing I can't switch off.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just enjoy it, and I just. Like first and foremost, it's that thing. I love making people laugh. I always have.
Like, were you always a class clown? Were you always the one who was like? Were you like in trouble? Were you like? What were you like in school?
I was quiet. I was quiet as like when I was young, and then but then as I sort of went into like high school, that sort of age, I realised I had this because I always felt like a bit of a misfit. I'd always felt like weren't quite with the cool kids playing football, but then you had the geeky kids. I didn't fit in there. I was just sort of in the bit. Then I realised I could do this thing where I could make people laugh.
Yeah.
And it was my in.
Yeah.
So I just sort of kept leaning into it more.
Yeah.
I remember doing a school assembly when I had to give like a talk at a school assembly, and I actually remember like I didn't plan anything. Today, this topic that I had to talk about, I didn't plan anything. I was like, oh shit, I didn't, because I was like constantly away with the fairies, making up scenarios. I used to play out on my own and like make up scenarios in my head. But I did this talk at the center, and I had the assembly cracking up, and I just remember that feeling of, I fucking love this.
Yes.
that feeling of yes.
Yeah.
But then I didn't really pursue it after that. But I just knew that's what I love doing. I love that sort of class clown, just clown in any situation really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the person who like I was literally in a situation the other day where somebody was telling me, and we were talking about someone, and they said, oh yeah, they went through a really hard time because their brother-in-law died doing parkour, and I burst out laughing because like it's horrible that he died. That's awful, and I'm so sorry. But to die doing parkour is so embarrassing.
That is.
And it's so ridiculous. But I'm the person who like is so awkward,
Yeah.
who will laugh at that kind of shit. And
Yeah.
I just like I cannot control
Yeah.
it.
You couldn't have gone to the funeral.
Oh my God, no. Ishan told me about his mom. Ishan was on the podcast. Do you know Ishan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And he was on the podcast and we were joking around about stupid shit. And then he went into the thing that changed him and he's like, so my mom died. And we both just burst out laughing. Because it's just like, that is who I am. I cannot help it. I'm a fucking weirdo. I just like, I don't know. Well, let's talk about the thing that changed you. Let's talk about it. And it doesn't need to be huge, big, life-changing. It can be small. What's the thing that sort of changed you and changed your path?
I don't know if I can pinpoint. I've just probably like a series of things that pinpoint about around sort of the same amount of time. So I've been doing, like, since pandemic, that's when I sort of started doing comedy. And before that, like, I was just I used to just fuck about doing. I was a carpet fitter most of my life. Done that when I left school. My dad taught me how to fit carpets, so I just did that.
Yeah.
Pissed about. Went and done a season in Tenerife.
Yeah.
Right? I went to Australia for a bit. And I've always just like that. But I was doing like, I've always been, so I was just a carpet fitter. And for me, as like a creative, where I'm always in my own world, making up my own things. Like I've always been like that. And you're doing a job where it's like it's not creative. All you do is there's only one way to lay the carpet. You can't I might leave bumps in it this time. It's just got to be one way.
Yeah.
There's no, and so like, I was always like coming up with, because I was always, I knew I wanted to be a comedian. I knew I wanted to be a comedian, but for someone like me, it was like, that is it would stay a fantasy.
Same.
There's nowhere to bridge that bit between, I'm actually going to do this. I could think about it, like, think, what would I do if I was on stage?
Yeah.
But when it comes to, I'll go on stage and be like, oh, fuck that, no, I don't, no way. Like, and I mean that, like, as in, like 100% categorically, there's no way I would get on a stage and do that. And also, I used to think that, from my background and where I'm from, I used to think like, oh, they've all probably been to like stage school or something.
Yeah.
People like me don't get to do that.
I thought the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to do comedy. My parents told me they remember me talking about doing stand-up comedy when I was like 10, 12, but I grew up as like just like kind of a dork. Like I was overweight, I was made fun of, I was bullied, and I was like, no one's gonna want to see me. And then when I got a little bit older, I tried to go into broadcasting school because I was like, well, that'll get me kind of behind a mic, but no one needs to see me, so I can hide behind it. But I never got into it. They rejected my application, and then I was like, well, then that's that. And I wanted to do it forever. And I waited till I was in my 30s before I actually started doing it. Yeah. Because I finally just wanted to like have the balls to go up and do it. But it's fucking, I just thought, I'm poor, I'm fat, I'm a woman. No one wants to hear me, and everyone who's a famous comedian, they were famous already or they're super rich. Yeah. And I thought you kind of had to be famous and rich before you did comedy, and I didn't realize that was a path to get there. Yeah, I was the same. I didn't think that was an option for normal people. That's exactly how I felt. And I used to, so similar like you doing broadcasting, I used to think about little ventures where I'd use my creativity. Yeah. But I tried to start a gourmet burger company. Yeah. Dorothy Gherkins, I called it. Oh, that's great. It was like Dorothy Gherkins. Just using that sort of like, I suppose that comedy thing that I had. Yeah. Didn't know how to make burgers, just knew how to give them funny names. Yeah. So I tried that. Tried DJing. It was just to scratch that itch. Yeah. Of that creative thing. 100%. That I wanted to do. But then I thought I was in my so I was about 31. Thought, right, I'm just gonna do it. I'll enroll in a little comedy workshop, and at the end, just do. And that was a massive step for me. It's like, I'm just gonna fucking do it. I'm just gonna do it. This is the thing I want to do. And then the pandemic happened. Yeah. So I didn't get to do my. Yeah. And I'd psyched myself up, and I've been like studying stand-up comedy, seeing what you do, how you do. And I was like, well, I'm gonna do it. And the pandemic happened. I couldn't do it. Yeah. So then I had. So then I spent like a lot of people did, just sitting around for a year going, because you don't know what the fuck was going to happen during the pandemic. No, because we all were like, oh, it's going to be 2 weeks. Yeah. It's a little bit longer. Then it's a little bit longer. Then all of a sudden, like 6 months has passed. And then we're like, what the fuck? And then it just, it was crazy. So that was my mind. Because looking back, I wish I would have just fucking enjoyed it. Because you're part of your brain, is this the end of the world? Is this actually, should I be worried here? Like, and you didn't know. So that relaxing weren't that relaxing. So anyway, my mate kept telling me to like, put your videos on TikTok, and I was like, oh, no one wants to fucking see that. Like, because that mentality. Yeah. No one wants to fucking see that. No one, you know what I mean? Yeah. And but I think, like I say, a moment I really remember, because at the time, because while I was in the pandemic, I was getting quite into like psychology. It's like my second biggest sort of passion, I suppose. I just love the way, how does human mind work? What's it all about? So I was reading things like Carl Jung and things like that.
or watching videos on it, and it's like it's all about like looking inside, internalizing things, right? And I remember there was a guy I used to know back in the day, but he was friends with me on Facebook, and he was uploading comedy videos on Facebook. And my instinct was to go, oh, fucking shit, I don't know why he's uploading that. Well, that's rubbish. And I had to catch myself at the time and go, why am I reacting like this?
Yeah.
Because why am I like, what, he's doing his thing, what?
Yeah.
So I had to internalize it because of all this like psychology I was into at the time, doing quite a lot of mushrooms as well at the time. but I sort of like, I had to internalize it and go, why am I reacting? And it just plainly was, I was fucking jealous.
That's it.
Yeah, I was
but
jealous.
to have the self-awareness to go like, oh, why do I feel like this?
Yeah.
Always when I was like way bigger, I would walk out on the street and I'd see like bigger girls wearing cute clothes and things that would like just like fit their bodies but show off their like weight a little bit, and I'd be like, look at you, you're so gross.
Yeah.
Like, look at you. But they look like me, but I was too embarrassed to do it. So I'd wear a huge big black like oversized t-shirt or whatever to cover myself up, and they just went, I don't give a fuck, I don't want to hate myself, I don't want to spend my life hating myself. And I was so jealous of that I fucking hated them.
But
when it was just me hating myself.
So if you can catch yourself and be aware, and then you can like because I've said that, that's why I think it's one of the biggest moments, because now I've sort of like I've carried that through. I keep carrying that through now. If ever I have like an itch or a problem or a niggle or someone like annoys me, because there's nothing you can't control the exterior. You can't control anything.
No.
You just have to. If there's a situation you're not liking, it's something you can do about it.
Yeah.
There's no point because I was doing it my whole life with comedy. Oh, it's because where I'm from. Or it's because it's
always an excuse.
There's always an excuse. There's always an excuse. And for say from that moment, so then I started uploading videos on TikTok and I did it for a little while, and then I sort of said, oh, this ain't really work. I was getting like 100 views, and I was like, oh, this ain't. And I sort of put my phone down. I was like, oh, just forget about that. And a few days later, I picked my phone up, and just like notifications have gone mental.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I've never even got like one notification before.
Yeah.
And now there's like 100 plus. What the fuck? And I couldn't even work out what. And I found one video had sort of gone viral.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit! Like, and then so I sort of like started. I thought, right, to that character, let's do more of that, and it started to pick up. And because I love comedy, and I said there's that thing of like, you know, you got to be a little bit ego driven to do this shit, haven't you?
Of course, we're all narcissists. We're all like, yes, yeah.
I just got the buzz of just doing it, and the more, and it was that for that first time in my life, that thing that you've just been something you've. Say, I was in a fantasy world my whole life. It was something was happening where people were paying attention to it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I've not stopped now for like nearly 3 years.
Yeah,
I can't stop. I can't. I love it. It's like the machine is working.
Yeah,
and I just keep churning it out and keep doing it. And I think, and I think that was a pivotal moment.
And to me, I think creativity. Like what does that say? Like it's like begets creativity. It's like if you do something, more of it will come.
Yeah.
So I think the more creative you are, the more you write, the more you're more inspired to write more and be more creative and all that. Because then you start surrounding yourself with other people who are in that world and in the creative world and doing all of that. Like, so it makes you go further. So I totally get why you're just like driven to do it. How often do you post?
Well, I've slowed it down a little bit now. So I try and do like three a week, something like that.
Yeah.
But when I had that thing where then it's like there's one video started to blow up on Instagram. Instagram was harder to grow, and that started happening. So I said, right, set myself a challenge to do a sketch every single day, and I did it for 4 months, 3 or 4 months, I think. Just every single day, I put up a sketch. But then, but then I used to do this thing where I used to put on. There's this music I listen to like it helps me with creativity. Wake up every morning. Put that in, think of a sketch, and to be because I was training that muscle so much.
Yeah,
I get to the point where I was writing 2 or 3 a day.
Oh wow!
Just because it was, and then just storing them, and it just kept coming up. To be honest, I need to get back into it.
Yeah.
Because I've taken my foot off the gas with that a little bit, but and I said, it just breeds, and I think what happened is because by the time I could get out again and do my first gig and do stand up. Because that muscle was a lot of joke writing, I've been training it during the pandemic. It just sort of become so. When I came to do my first 5, it was a pretty tight 5 minutes because it's that obsession of watching it and writing and rewriting and maybe there was a little bit of a persona already locked in from the online stuff.
Where was your first 5?
Well, I did sort of two, because I did one that was like the showcase for that, because I've rejoined that comedy workshop.
Oh yeah, okay, so you did that.
Yeah, did that. But then that's sort of they invite family and friends and lots of stuff there. So
yeah,
so sometimes I think is that a bit of a
everyone's
not in the wild.
Oh, very good. Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
But then my first actual one was the Artista in Brighton.
Oh yeah.
The little underground thing, and that was. Yeah, there's nothing. There's that feeling. You don't even remember it, do you? It's just a bit of a blur.
I just remember coming off. Like I remember being on stage in my first ever 5-minute, like sort of an open mic thing, and I just remember. But there was some audience in there as well, and I remember coming off just going, "Holy shit, I'm a comedian. That's what I'm supposed to be doing."
Yeah.
I'd never had a bigger feeling of this is where I belong and this is what I have to be doing than when I was like getting a laugh for something I had written and thought of.
Yeah.
And I just think. To me, I love comedy, so I'm such a comedy nerd. I love it. It's just a person and their ideas and their words, and that's enough to move a room in laughter or shock them or whatever. And to me, it's like the most simplest, beautiful, purest art form ever. And like everyone is focused on you and watching you and quiet and paying attention. And it's like could be one person with just their ideas, and it's beautiful.
I completely agree. And also, did you have this thing of when, say, you turn up and you're doing your first few gigs and you're in a room, like a green room, and you're a room full of comedians, you just think, oh, well, everyone's going to be funny, everyone's going to be...
Yeah.
And then you sort of start to hold your own and start thinking, I'm doing all right here, actually. And then
There's nothing better than that feeling.
Yeah, you think, this is all right. And I don't know, in a weird way, it's like, you'll be with, like, big, huge TV comedians that have been going around a while, and you look up to them and go, I want to wait till I get to that bit. And then also there's sometimes where you just deconstruct it and you're around these comedians. They're just human beings.
They're just people. Literally every time I get really like, I honestly try to do this thing. I tried to write a joke about it a while ago. It never really, like I couldn't really figure it out. But basically like anytime I get really nervous, I think of Beyonce having diarrhea.
Yeah.
Because it's like, she's just a fucking person. And there's no way at whatever point in her life, she just hasn't been on the toilet, hunched over, being like, oh, fuck. And just like shitting fire and like just hating her life and quivering in pain and like on the phone to Kelly or whatever, be like, fuck, I just blew my asshole out. Like,
just even Beyonce farting.
Just even her farting, you know, like she's just a fucking person. They're not these gods and they're not these like untouchable people. And I think once the more you're sort of around them, the more you just see them as just people. Yeah. And I think the best thing to do, especially if you're in a green room, whenever, like I was telling you about that comic who was like, oh, I'm this and that and whatever. And there's comics who kind of like big up and they're like, oh, I've done this and that. And then when they go on and bomb, it's so embarrassing. Isn't it better just to be low key and then fucking smash it?
Well, I'll think about this. That like I think right, how you are in a green room really dictates how successful you will be in this industry. Because sometimes like I've booked gigs sometimes you think, well, who do I want to hang out with?
Yeah.
And so there's that, and I think there's you got to have a certain level of energy. I think when you're around comedians, and it's like I reckon it's like I call it like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Intensity, energy. You want to be upbeat where everyone's in a good mood, but you don't want to be miserable where you're bringing everyone down. But then you don't want to be too intense, getting on everyone's fucking nerves.
Or trying bits out. Yeah, it's like the comics who kill in the car on the way to the gig.
Yeah.
They're like just joke, and then they go fucking bomb on stage. And you're like, bro, like saved it. Save it for the fucking stage. Like you're not getting paid to do it in the car. And sometimes comics like I've been offered rides. I don't drive, and I've been offered rides before with comics. Be like, here, I'm like, I'll take the train. Yeah. Because I like literally just don't want to be in a car for 3 hours with somebody's gonna be like, this and that and the other. I'm like, bro, I'd literally rather be on a train for 4 hours.
Usually is someone who's been invited into a green room who's not a comic. And they go in expecting it's going to be fucking... And it's just like loads of boring going, so how did you get here? Price of petrol.
Yeah, exactly. The train was actually not bad. Yeah, it wasn't bad. I got to say.
And they come in going, hey, did anyone...
They were just on our phone.
Yeah. Hey, what's it with toasters, eh?
Oh, my God. The worst. Who are your comics you look up to? Who are the big ones you look up to?
As in, like... Ones I know or ones I watch or
both, whatever. Who sort of inspire you? What people you work with, or
no? I always think this. I always admire comics who make my dad laugh.
Oh, I love that.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's that sort because he's old school, my old man.
Yeah.
He's probably like fucking like he don't really understand.
Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
I'm originally from Croydon.
Okay.
We moved to somewhere called Sutton, which is like the next town along.
Yeah.
I sort of grew up around there. Yeah. Sort of South London, Surrey area. Yeah.
And he's a carpet fitter as well.
Yeah. Right. He's like proper Croydon. And now he's a black cab driver. Like, probably like he's probably geezer.
Yeah.
But it's so cute though because he's sort of like he's supportive of what I do, but has no idea what I do at the same time.
Right.
Like I did So You Think You're Funny.
Yeah.
Last year I came third, and my dad was proud of me, so he shared a photo of me and Mickey Flanagan with the award, and went. And the caption was, "My son came third at Edinburgh." Just pretty vague, you know. And then someone commented below, "Third at what?" And he just put stand-up comedy.
Oh,
just third.
He's the first best stand-up comedy in the world. That is so cute, though. I do love that support. I feel like my parents don't. They get it, but they don't. They listen to this podcast, which sometimes is horrifying. Yeah. But they listen to it, and it's just like. It's hard, but for anyone who's not in this world to really understand how weird this world is.
Yeah.
But it's really cute that he just wants to support you and like put that up and everything and just like share the love on it.
But I think that's why I used to love Sean Locke. Because it was that sort of, because my dad is, he
make your dad laugh.
You make my dad, because it also it's just it's just daft, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Well, I think my favourite sort of comedy is stuff that has no point.
Yeah, it's just silly.
There's no point. There's
for fun.
Yeah, there's absolutely no point to it. I love that. I actually love that. It's like sometimes because I'm not educated. I don't. Sometimes someone's making like a political point or whatever. I go. It goes completely over my head. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
I think you're not giving yourself enough credit because of how you are. I think you're underselling what you actually do, because I think people who have grown up working class understand the nuances of that system and politics a lot better than other people, or they give themselves credit for.
It's more like what I like to do is make this is the way I like to put it, right? I'd rather someone change the way I think through being stupid than being clever.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if the point is so ridiculous that at the end of it I go, that's a bloody good point.
Yes.
I like doing that sort of thing rather than someone telling me some clever stuff and I go, and then having to explain it to me.
Yeah. Are you someone who you're always up for your mind being changed? If you come along and you want to change my mind, like, go for it?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, because I don't. Yeah, 100%. Because do you know what? I don't think I have enough of an opinion on anything to. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like. And sometimes if there's like a big debate or an argument, my thing is like it's not my. It's not my fight. I'm not getting involved in this. And sometimes even and I can't even trust myself enough. If I do make a point, I go, oh no, it's like this is what I believe, unless you think I should believe something else, then I'll just go with that.
But that is a good thing, and some people are so like they dig their heels in and they don't want to change their mind because they think that's a sign that they're stupid or they're not interpreting it right, when really like the ability to self-reflect, change your mind and go, oh, I can appreciate where you're coming from, I can see your point of view, I can understand and I can change. To me, that shows a lot greater character and intelligence as somebody who can have that than somebody who goes, no, I'm fucking right, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
it's like
and I think because even like I think I'm like that even like an argument.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think.
Are you like that in relationships? So if you're dating somebody and then they go like, actually this, and you go, yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah, possibly. I'm just trying to think. Unless I'm like, I'm trying to think what I know enough about that I can sit there and have a full-on argument.
I'm sure there's stuff.
I think I'll have an argument about calling that bullshit. If I see someone like being a complete hypocrite or doing something or I've seen them do something and say something else or something like that. I don't know. And then
there's a lot of that in this industry.
Yeah, and I think if I got an argument, I'd be like, well, you. Do you know what I mean? But then also I'd have to be self-reflective enough to go, probably I've done it as well.
Well, this is 100%. Also, why I believe in people's ability to change. That's why I like this podcast. I like talking to people because I think people have the ability to change.
Yeah,
and that's why I don't think you can just fully cancel people and rule them out forever, because then they have no motivation to change or become a better person or do anything that's different.
Yeah.
What do you like in relationships? Are you in a relationship now?
No.
Are you in relationships? Are you someone who's like pretty go with the flow, or are you like?
Well, I am because I'm quite a loner. I think I'm in my own world. You
don't strike me as a loner.
I'm in my own world quite a lot, and I need to sit on my own quite a bit.
You're just the kid who'd be like playing football, but you'd be in the field just doing twirls on your own, looking up at the sky while the ball whizzes by you. A
little bit like that. And if I'm just walking I actually genuinely like getting trains places, just looking out the window.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Are you the person who goes on an airplane and just stares at the seat in front of you, and you just like look like an absolute psychopath?
I do.
Oh my god! Or you watch the fucking flight map?
I flew to the Philippines in March. I didn't watch one film.
So that's okay. Now we've crossed the line because that is psychopath behavior.
No, the headphones are a bit. The sound weren't good enough. I'd rather I'll just look out the window.
Oh, how long was the flight?
14 hours.
14 hours of you looking out the window.
Actually. I think it was 2 lots of 8 hours. Yeah.
Oh, so you weren't even like right? Because I always am like, okay, I have to download a book. I have my AirPods, and then if those lose battery while I'm charging them, I have corded ones, and then I can watch the movies. And first thing I do when I get on a flight is I add all the things I want to see to my favorite. So I'm ready to go, and I have all my things like ready to go.
Well, that's the thing. I do that, and then I'll start something, and I'll think, oh, this is what I mean about. I think I'm in my own world. So say I start a book or an audio book.
Yeah.
I think, oh, I'll listen to this. This will get. It will make me think of something.
Yes.
And then I'll think, right, I'll just rather just think about that. And then just
You're writing your own story.
Yeah, like someone just give me all this. It's like information, like the overload of information. I'm like, just.
That happens to me too. I like jump around so much. Yeah. And I was talking to someone the other day, and I basically I had started the conversation and the idea and the thought in my head. And then I brought them in mid-conversation that they weren't a part of, and they were like, what?
Yeah.
What is happening? But I'd already played it all out in my head, or like I'll go down this path. I think it's just because like I haven't been diagnosed, but I've been told by everyone who has ADD that I definitely have ADHD.
Oh, yeah.
Because of like the things that I do. And it kind of sounds like you might have
definitely got something. I've got
something like that, where you just can't stop like that.
It does stop, but also it's like I don't because I'm not very a studious person. Like
No, me neither.
I don't write anything down. All I do is I'll write one word in my phone.
Yeah.
Like when I do my sketches and stuff, it's I just see it.
Yeah.
Think about it, and then I just sort of play it out. The same with stand up. Like if I'll try something, I'll record it and I'll know how it feels, and then it will just sort of stay.
You're not writing it out.
I can't. I've tried.
I do kind of point form, like this is sort of the idea, or this is what I want to do. But like my phone is full of notes, with notes and sub notes and everything. But it's all completely disorganized, and it'll be like a thing called new jokes, and there's just like a million ideas. And one time I got super drunk and I woke up and it just said poo like 3 times in it, but it was spelt like Winnie the Pooh, like P-O-O-H, and I was like, what was the joke?
Just go up and try it.
Just go up, poo. Is that something? But you know what? People would laugh. People would like that. You know what? As I know it's crude and whatever, and maybe it's just the white trash in me, but like a good pee-pee poo-poo joke or someone. Somebody had a joke on stage. I think it was Rory O'Hanlon was talking about this new bit he was doing, where he just basically did a silent fart on a trainee's, and then the whole bit was just about, you know, when it's one of those that you're trying to pretend it doesn't exist, but it's so foul even you want to like gag, and your eyes are watering.
That's the thing about it. It's not a joke. It's about fart. It's about the human reaction to it.
It is
So that's the beauty of it. That's the sort of stuff I'm down with that sort of stuff.
I like that kind of silly shit too. Do you feel though, and this is my issue, and you're saying you just like being silly and stuff as well, and you just like stupid things that make you laugh. Sometimes I feel a responsibility being on stage, having to say something that means something. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like they're all paying attention to you. How often do you get people that are focused on you, paying attention to you, listening to you? So do we have a responsibility, or is it just like, no, these people have hard lives. Life is hard. People just need a break.
Well, I think you can do both of it, because as long as you're, I love, my favorite thing to do is like. So I'd say it's observational, isn't it? But when the way I like to do it is like I like touching on an observation that goes on in your head that you don't know, giving a voice to that thing. So it could be dark, it could be stupid, but it's that stupid thought in your head. So it goes back to that thing I was saying about internalizing everything. So a lot of my sketches, I don't know if you've seen, they're sort of like, you know, it's the 2 characters talking to each other. They're both. I play 2, so it's. But I see it as this: there's the logical human part of my brain, and there's the emotional animal part of the brain.
Yeah.
And I'm through like thinking about like I'm aware of both of them parts now. So it looks like sometimes when I do a video about people, like I take the piss out of I did one yesterday that went well about blokes who walk around with their shirts off.
My God.
When it's hot, right?
I literally just took a photo and sent it to my boyfriend. I was walking through Liverpool Street Station. These fucking 4 British boys had their shirts off. I'm like, guys, it's 18 degrees out. It's not exactly fucking Dubai weather here.
So what I try and do, right? So the sketch is me. The sketch is me taking the piss out of them people.
Yeah.
But to take the piss out of them people well, I internalize it and go, because there's been a time where I wanted to take my shirt off, and I have to ask myself, why would I want to do that?
Yeah.
Well, and then so it's like because it's that idiot part of the brain. I've got it. I just want to give a voice to it. And then why are these blokes do it? And so the bit I'm taking a piss of is they're walking around going, yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's looking at me going, cool, what a guy.
Yes.
Because that's what is going on in their head. And
Yeah.
so if you can give a voice to that, or you know, or like, and I do loads. I sort of like I do bits on why people post certain things. Like, yeah, because it's like it's what's the word? It's unconscious, isn't it? You just do a thing.
Yeah.
Like you know, like I did one that went about people who post when a celebrity dies.
Oh, God.
They want to be the quickest one to do it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, and I try and think about why. I've never done it, but I understand the impulse.
Yeah.
I understand the impulse, and so I try and give a voice to that thing, going, yeah, because I want to be the first to tell people, and I don't know why.
My mom does that. My mom, like before a celebrity dies, it's like her and my brother rush to be the first one in the family chat to go, this person just died.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
But
sad,
also,
but
it's
like,
the paragraph underneath it. It's not even about it's about themselves.
it's about them, not about, yes.
And I just love thinking about that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And honestly, like the videos look like I'm taking the piss. And that's what I was going to say. Because there's two people in my videos playing, but they're both me.
Yes.
They're both me having the argument with each other.
Yeah.
Actually, on that flight, what I did listen to was the I tried to listen to until I got lost in my own thoughts. The chimp paradox. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
And it's about how we deal with the chimp part of the brain, the thing that it's reactive, it's emotional.
Yeah.
And that's where it goes first. It's all and then you have got this part of the brain that is, they calls it the human part, that can talk it down, and because that's what we are. We're just impulsive, emotional people.
Yeah, we are just animals.
Yeah, we are.
And we have to like rein it in, pull it back, but not everyone has the ability to do that.
Yeah.
And you're very self-reflective.
Oh yeah.
Does your family recognize? Were you like kind of like the odd man out in the family, or is this very much how your family is? Like, would you say
I think sort of. I think like.
Were you only child?
No, I got a younger brother.
Younger brother.
But I think I don't know if it's something I've developed over time.
Does he think it's cool that you do comedy?
Yeah, he loves it. And I love.
Does he show off and like brag about you and stuff?
It's more not. Well, yeah, he does. Yeah, but it's more what I love talking about him. Sometimes if I'm having like a moment, you know, like when we think like comedians, and it's so like it's not funny way of thinking. It's so like boring. It's like I'll be having a crisis, like a writing block, and I go, I don't really know what to talk about. What do they want me to do?
Yeah.
And I'll be having a conversation, and he'll just go, well, just do that funny shit you do.
Yeah.
Like he sees it so black and white, you know,
Yeah.
and it just makes me go, oh, okay, yeah, I suppose I'm overthinking this shit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I think we do that's my problem. I'm such an overthinker. Like I overthink everything. And I think sometimes it's just like as simple as just fucking doing it.
Yeah.
And especially like I feel like we're probably the same type of performer. I think there's two different types of comedians. There's writers first, performer second, or performer first, writer second.
Yeah.
Whereas I like to take a rough idea on stage and talk it out and just talk shit and go off on it and then get the feeling of how that worked, how the audience felt, whatever. Where some people hate that and they need to have a full written like word for word. This is how the joke's gonna go. This is the structure. This is the first tag, the second tag, and I just can't do that.
I can't.
And I'm not that person, so I need to bring my writing up to a level where it matches the level of performance I can do, but at the same time, I'm just like, just be fucking funny.
Yeah.
We know how to be funny.
Yeah.
We know how to make people laugh.
And I think like I think that's what we were saying about what has changed us, and you know, that's what it's about. Like I think that doing this now, it has made me feel like I like for years I'm able to be myself. It's like you get gratification, you get like that thing that you thought was mental, that you know I was too embarrassed to say I want to be a comedian.
Yeah.
I was too embarrassed to say it. And then when you start getting say that the people saying you like, amongst your peers, and you're doing gigs with like some of your people you used to watch on TV and like all this stuff, you're like fucking I can do that. And it just gives you like I really my young years I had no confidence. I don't know what happened, but like I think somewhere along the way I got lost.
Were you bullied or anything? Or
No,
was it
wasn't
like...
bullied. No, it wasn't. I mean, I think that without getting too deep into it, my mum and dad separated when I was about 15, which is a massive thing in my life. And it's like, and I think what happened is I went. You know, I said I was the clown. I sort of went too into it, where I was like, I'd be the fool. In a situation where I was terrible with girls, like I didn't know how to, and I'd have like mates, and they just really them guys, you know, the guys just go up to girls and be like, hey, and they're just in, and I'll be like, right, I feel inadequate now, so I'll do something outrageous,
right?
Do like something stupid just to make, and just become the butt of it. Do you know what I mean? I think that's like that's how I was, but now it's like I've got to a point where it's like being the clown is a good thing.
Yeah.
And I can make it feel like that's just. I can
But
use
you're
it.
like controlling it.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can use it for, and just enjoy it. But say before, it was just through like a lack of confidence or a lack of like, just feeling inadequate, just not being able to, like behave, like how to behave in social situations.
Yeah.
Didn't know how to do it, or I'd get like pissed. Like, I get really pissed and just do something stupid because I don't know how to control. But now it's like I do feel a bit more. Oh, I can just like because people tell you you're doing that clown thing because you're doing it and like making a career out of it. It's like, oh, okay, maybe it's not so weird.
Yeah, well, exactly, and you're actually making a living. But like, so your thing that you're talking about and your change is starting basically TikTok helped change it, right?
Yeah.
Help really launch you and give you that confidence.
Yeah.
Have there been downsides? Have there been negatives? Have you gotten hate? Have there
been
what are sort of the downsides to
it? You do feel really overexposed. Like, I mean, even right now, because I'm having like a conversation, like, I'm feeling, wow, am I saying too much here? Do you know what I mean? You do get that little bit of, and I think, well, something you have to learn, like the trolls and all that sort of stuff, and you get better at learning how. As before when I said I had to internalize it, I saw that guy, and I was just it's the classic thing, if you get someone bullies you or does something horrible to you, your mum will say, "Oh, they're just jealous." Yeah, mum's right.
I mean, they literally that is what it is. It's like the trolls are always like the sad people who are sad that they can't do it themselves or that you're getting the attention. They're just trying to bring you down. Exactly,
and so because I've done it myself without commenting, being that much of a prick, but that's exactly what. So now to make a living. I'll do a brand deal on Instagram or TikTok. So a brand will come to me, and I'll create a sketch highlighting the brand, and I'll do it in my style. Yeah. I'll still make it as entertaining as I can for my followers, but that earning that money enables me to like have more time writing, gigging, performing, doing all this stuff that makes apparently what they enjoy, right? So I did I'll do one last week, right? And I'll do and I still try to make it funny, do it in my style, and you'll get comments, people going, "Fucking sellout, fuck it." And I think, what? So I'm sorry, I've made about 600 videos here for you. Here's one, right? Yeah. And you can't like just watch that and just go, "Oh, he's making money." No, it's just
that's it. They want it all for free.
All for free.
And they don't want you to actually make money out, which is actually crazy. Because if you really loved and follow the creator, you'd want them to actually do well, so they could continue to entertain you and do well.
I just don't understand the mentality.
But that like disconnect.
And it's not like I'm driving around in a Lamborghini or anything. It's like, oh, sorry, mate, I won't do this video. I'll stop feeding my kids, shall I? Just to keep you happy.
Yeah, and you're not like I'm assuming you're having some like you're slightly discerning with whatever products or services you're gonna promote. You're not just gonna take anything on because they offer it to you. You're gonna be like, I have to actually buy into this. Yeah. Or I need to be able to back up the shit I'm saying.
And also, I've always made a point, like I'll make sure it's like a ratio where it's such a small percentage of what.
Yeah, you don't want all your videos to be sponsored. Yeah,
content. It's just I keep putting out, and if I know I've got one coming out that week, I'll make sure I've got loads more. So it's not. And but also it's like 30 seconds out of your life. And what makes me laugh is like some person DM'd me, and they sometimes they like to DM you telling you they're unfollowing you. I don't know, I've never understood that. But, right. And they went, I'm unfollowing you now because now you're putting out ads and all that sort of stuff. And I think you're not the Unabomber living in the woods. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not into the corporate world, get off fucking Instagram.
No kidding. Who do you think you're supporting here?
You know what I mean? It's like,
oh my God. People who like post on Facebook that like the government is watching them and everything are like I just can't. I just cannot. I know people who are like, I don't use WhatsApp because they can put spyware on there and do all that. And I'm like, well then, but you're on Instagram. Yeah. That is owned by the same company that owns WhatsApp. Yeah. You're on Facebook. You do all this other it doesn't.
You can't escape it.
It's just like the coke snorting vegans.
Yeah,
Your body's a temple. You know what I mean? They're just like a contradiction, and they can't even see their own bullshit. Yeah. And you just go, okay, yeah. Okay, the Earth is flat. You're good, man.
It's honestly crazy. So some of the stuff. But it's the mental thing with trolls.
Does it ever get to you? Has there ever been a comment that has hit you? I take it still too personally, and I get a little bit like, and I'm really trying. And there have been a couple times where I've hesitated to put out videos because I go, I just don't want the hate. I just can't,
sometimes I'll get what annoys me. Sometimes is like obviously like you know as a comedian, right? Some like you got when you're right, there's premises, aren't there? Yeah. There's topics, things you can talk about, and sometimes there will be some sort of like crossover where someone spoke about a similar sort of thing, and you never get into joke theft or
Yeah.
anything like that. But you could have something where it's like, and I don't do much scrolling.
Yeah.
But the reason is I want to be try to be as original as I can and not try and take on. And so it annoys me like you come up with something and someone go, oh, you've just stolen this from. No, I ain't. Like that's
parallel thinking is real.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Because it's what it is. It's like trying to put down or degrade whatever you're doing. But this, do you know what I've realised? I've actually realised this. You get hate and you get that, but it's so minimal. You know, whatever, in comparison, you can just go, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's this mental thing, right? I don't put up that much stand-up clips, but every time I do, you guarantee the hate's going to be high.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what it is. Yeah. What I think it is anyway, is because people say, don't they, that public speaking is the number one fear or whatever.
Yeah.
So stand-up is like that times 100, because you've got so many people laugh. And I think these people. Stand-up comedy is so far out of whatever they could imagine doing that the harder the thing is the person doing, the harder they have to put it down. Do you know what I mean?
It's really, because my thing right now is I was like very weird about, I've been putting up stand-up clips, and the ones that are like kind of the funniest clips, I think, or just like whatever, I get so much hate on. I get so much hate on, and then some of them are like some of the comments are so wild to something that's so mild.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I'm like, where is this coming from? But that actually is a very good point, that it is that part of the brain that they can't control, where they're just so like jealous of it.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, you're jealous of me. And I don't want to also be totally deluded to think that.
Yeah.
Because if I am shit, like I don't want to be shit and be putting out stuff. But like, I don't know, I have a weird thing with the haters and the trolls, and like, I'd never experienced it. Basically, it started coming on in the last couple months, I would say. But then also as my videos have been increasing in views.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a good thing because you want the views and you want the engagement, but it's like
just let them argue amongst themselves on there. That's always a good thing. But it's like, but also like you get a comment, someone like you put up a stand-up clip and they'll put something like, oh, tough crowd. And you think, I can hear them laughing. Can you? I'm not like, what are you?
Yeah.
But
I had somebody say the only reason this crowd is laughing is probably because she paid her friends to be there to laugh, and I was like, you overestimate how much money I make.
Yeah,
I have enough people to fill. How many friends I got to fill a fucking comedy club to make them laugh or whatever. And I was like, can you imagine actually that some of the stuff? I'm like, it's just, I don't know, it's just craziness. But do you ever have, because your TikTok's is your biggest, right? Or Instagram? What's your?
I think like, TikTok got a bigger following, but I don't know. It seems to be more engagement on Instagram. I suppose.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have a fear of like what happens if like it just goes away tomorrow? Like, and you've built building your career on this.
It's all the time.
Yeah.
Not even just like saying Instagram. It's just like I'm always. I think that's what drives me and keeps me going. Is you know what? I feel so lucky to be in this. I really feel like privileged and lucky, and like and if anyone stops me, I always stop and chat and like because I feel like it's amazing. I'm really enjoying this journey. But as I say, there's that. It drives me to think, I just try and keep on top of it, take every opportunity, because I'm worried that, imagine it just goes.
Yeah.
Imagine it just goes.
Which can happen. Like, you just don't really know with social media. And again, those are out of your power, but this is the benefit of what you're doing. You've built the skill of being a comedian, and you're building that. And that is like an actual skill that you can take out there, and you're doing all this stuff with it. I think where I could see people really struggling is like when their whole career is centered around like doing kind of like a very obscure niche thing that only really works on TikTok and doesn't have any sort of transferable skills. Or like if your whole thing is just like showing your tits on Instagram, eventually people are going to get tired of seeing your tits. And eventually you're going to get older. And that's just how it is.
And you're done.
People are not going to want to see. And then what? And then what is your next move? And I always think of like, are you building up your backups just in case for what might happen? Because you just don't fucking know. You don't know what. Like TikTok is the hottest shit right now, but fucking we thought Facebook was the hottest shit back in the day. And then like before then it was like, whatever, Friendster or MySpace or whatever the fuck. And it constantly is evolving. I guess you just need to be able to constantly evolve with it and change.
I think possibly the trick is to it is authenticity. As long as you're staying authentic and true to yourself, there's no it's like when like in I try not to ever have too much of a gimmick. Like I could probably lean into the working class thing a bit or do it, but I just think if what you're trying to do is be funny at its core, there's much more longevity in that, and it's authentic, isn't it? So if you try and go, I'm going to be this thing, and then what happens when that thing's not thing anymore. Do you know
That's
what
why I
mean?
always think it's weird when people, not weird, but like, I think it'd be very difficult to do character comedy. People who go on stage as full characters. To me, it feels like I would be boxed in by that. I feel like I would be very limited in what I could do as like this weird kind of alternative character. Whereas I would rather have my comedy be more authentic and grow and evolve with me.
Yeah.
And what I'm talking about now is not what I was talking about 4 years ago. And what I'm talking about in a couple of years hopefully won't be what I'm talking about now. And I'm like, it's evolving as my life evolves. But it still is ringing true to who I am and being authentic.
I think that's it. I think being authentic. And also, I think, like, say going back to like, doing these like brand deals or doing that, like, me, where I'm from, where I've had to spend most of my life grafting my bollocks off, like getting up, building sites, loading vans at 7 o'clock in the morning. Me taking these brand deals, I'm being so authentic.
Yeah.
I'm being like well true to like
exactly.
anyone from where I'm from would
like,
not
take the fucking money.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So
that's the thing that I don't get. Anytime someone, I don't care what you do for work. I do not care if it's brand deals, if it's fucking working at Tesco. Whatever you do, if you were working and you were paying your bills and you were getting your money, there is no shame in that.
Exactly.
There is no shame in any kind of work that you're doing if it pays your bills, takes care of your family, and sorts you out.
That's it.
And I think people who look down on you for whatever is just they have no place or they've never been in a position where they've had to. I know what it's like to not have money to pay bills. I know what it's like to struggle to go, I only have this much till my next payday or whatever. And I think that just gives me so much respect. And I think if you just don't respect that or you like talk shit about someone because they're gonna take a brand deal, well, the fuck, you're not pay your rent. Pay. I won't take it. Pay his rent.
It's funny because even one person did. I think you'll look at them and they'll be like, you know, they'll be a bricklayer or something. Yeah. But it's the equivalent of like that bricklayer doing it for free for 3 years.
Yeah.
Then getting paid for one job and everyone going, oh, fucking sell out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like
exactly.
Like what the fuck? Like what? I think that's just it's a mental way to look at it. But I say, and that's why, like, when opportunities come up, I get this thing. I don't know how long this is going to last.
Yeah.
I don't know how long. So I'm just.
Are you like being really good with like saving money?
No.
No. What's been your biggest purchase you've made?
Just holidays, I think. Just things
Holidays.
like
That's a good one though. But experiences, because also experiences and traveling is just great.
Yeah.
And then also that's going to breed more stories and things like that. And But like. So yeah, you're not doing the whole thing where you're like saving.
No.
Yeah.
I've always been bad at that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not great with money too, but I was talking to a TikToker the other day and she was just saying that like even if she kind of leans into a particular thing, because she's done a bunch of stuff, but one thing is kind of hit hard. And so she's leaning more into that. And she goes, people can call me hacky, but she's like, but I'm about to buy my first house in London.
Wow.
She's buying her first flat in London.
Yeah.
And then she's like, if I can make enough money doing this and being the hack, but having my own place and it's securing that, even if this all goes away or whatever, I still have that. And I'm like, that's, to me, fucking more power to you. I'm like, I fucking love that. But I also would be like, holidays, this pretty handbag. Like I would be very tempted to just do that kind of stuff too. Yeah. So holidays, what's the best holiday you've been on?
I went to this year. I went to the Philippines.
Oh yes, that's when you sat on the plane like
yeah.
I was like staring out the window.
Yeah,
was that an amazing trip? I feel like it'd be amazing.
It was an amazing trip, and also like I put this out there. I didn't pay for this, by the way. My friend treated me to this.
Oh, who's your fucking friend?
I paid for the holiday. But my friend treated me while I was there to stay in the Shangri-La.
Yeah.
Wow. But things like it's like I felt like I think I had to put that out there as well, just make sure people think he's changed, isn't he?
Yeah.
My friend paid for it, but it was but like it's mental. It's like 5-star. Like I was like, I'm not used to it. Oh, because I'm like you get like butlers carrying your bag.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's all right, mate. I got it.
I'm used to the travel lodge actually, where they're just like, oh, can I have a hairdryer? They're like, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. It's that treatment. I was like, Jesus. But it was beautiful. I was in. It's called the island was called Boracay in Philippines. It was beautiful, stunning.
What kind of traveler are you? Are you like sit by the pool, tan, chill? Or are you like, let's go and adventure and see the locals and eat? And
I'm a classic British pisshead.
Yeah, are you? You're just drinking by the pool and getting fucked up.
I'm the. No, we'll do it differently this holiday. We're gonna. Just fucking.
But whatever, you know who you are.
Yeah, pints in the airport.
Yeah, I mean that's oh my god, that was the thing that like I mean just the British drinking culture has like fucking surprised me when I moved here. Not anymore, but like just like seeing sick splattered all over the ground. I remember right when lockdown came out, I knew we were done. When I walked down, I was in Bermondsey walking somewhere, and there was just sick everywhere.
Yeah,
and I was like, we're back, baby.
Yeah.
This is it.
I realised I was thinking this last night. We can turn anything into a piss up as well.
I've been at Gatwick at fucking 8 a.m. and people are having their eggs with a pint, and I'm like, that is just so gross to me.
I got invited to a christening recently, and my first thing was, that'll be a piss up.
Oh my gosh!
It's like a baby, like welcoming a baby into the world. I'm gonna get smashed.
Literally. Okay, so I went to my first christening over here not that long ago. And I was like, oh my God, I need to get there all early. I'll have my gifts ready. And there was like, it was a christening, and then it was going into a joint kid's birthday party for the kid I knew, and then this other kid. So I'm like, well, but that's rude to show up without a gift for the kid I don't know. So I'll bring a little gift for the kid I don't know, the biggest gift for the kid whose christening it is and birthday it is, and then I'll bring like a smaller gift for the sibling who's not getting anything, because you should do that too. Yeah. Then I'm gonna get all dressed. I'm gonna show up early. I show up like 15 minutes before it starts to happen. No one's there. I'm the first one there. And they're like, and someone's like, aren't you fancy? And I was like, what the fuck? No one's there. Everyone rocks up late, and then they're just starting to get like everyone's just starting to get drunk. And the mom of the like baby who was getting christened was the most drunk by the end of it. And I was just like, yeah, it's just a different vibe over here.
Welcome to England, yeah.
Yeah, it's just but it's so I really do love it over here. Have you performed other places? Have you gigged elsewhere?
What, countries?
Yeah. No, okay.
No, I've got some. I'm going to Middle East.
Yeah, are you doing the Dubai thing?
No, I was saying girls. I'm going Oman and places like that.
Oh, sick!
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I've only gigged in Dubai in the Middle East, but it's been great. It's been really, really fun. I got asked to do Saudi, and then they were like, but you have to do like, you can't even infer sex. You have to be very, very clean, and like I'm very not a clean comic. I'm very dirty, and I'm very aggressive, and just being a woman and like that. And some people are like, maybe don't get beheaded. You know?
Yeah, I'll probably struggle.
You probably don't want to do that. You know what I really want to do? I want to do like I don't know if it's like Canadian Armed Forces or British Armed Forces or something like that. I would love to do like one of those tours to like armed forces in a place.
Yeah.
And like go and perform for them. I really want to get together like a tour and do that. I just think it'd be so fucking cool.
Like Marilyn Monroe.
Yes, but like obviously not Marilyn, but I just feel like with my vibe and a bunch of like army men around me, army people, I just think it's my vibe. Like I feel like you do really well on that too.
Yeah.
Like they just, because those guys, they just want to fucking have a good time and fucking laugh and talk about shit and like I just think it'd be so fun. I really seriously want to do that. So you're getting ready to perform there. Are you nervous at all about like, will the stuff translate? Will my translate?
I don't think so. I always think about because I think about going to America. If I do that, I think I'd struggle. Because it's like very, because I think I'm very British reference heavy.
Right.
Because this is my world that I live in, isn't it? Like say your first thing is like think of like an analogy. It'll be like B&Q or like I'll go straight to that thing.
I even struggle over here at comedy shows. Sometimes comics will make references and jokes, and people are laughing, and I'm like, I don't get it. And I've lived here for 4 years, and I still don't get it.
Yeah.
But to me, that's why I try to travel as much as I can outside and do gigs as much as I can outside of here in Canada. And one of the reasons I moved here as well, because like if my stuff can hit in Canada, here, I've done Dubai, Stockholm, Hamburg, like I've performed different places, then it relates to the most amount of people, so I'll be able to get the most people supporting me. But I think, but it's also hard to do if that's like your world.
I think it's something I would like to do though. I would like to, because just to get better.
Yeah.
Just go.
But that'll come me fucking 2 years in. You're crazy. You've been doing amazing things for 2 years in.
Nice to say.
I love that. Well, that's the perfect way to sort of wrap this up and ask you my final question. So this is the question I ask everyone. Obviously, you've been through a lot of change, especially in the last couple of years. And like doing this your whole career, and it's like this whirlwind. But what is something in your life you hope never changes?
Ooh. Staying humble.
Yeah. Keeping
real, staying up. You know what I mean? I think the same. I would definitely try and keep on top of and just know. Like even like I filmed something last week, and I'm on a proper TV set type thing, and I would try and make a point like remember the runners' names, do all that sort of thing, because you hear them sort of things to keep grounded, keep real, and I think because when you are getting these positions where people will do things for you and all that. You see how like young people can slip into it easy. They become twats.
Oh, totally.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's it. I think if this change would have happened to me earlier on in my life, it would have been harder to navigate because I've lived a life of having fuck all, being no.
Yes.
So I think when things start being nice and I say like the Shangri-La where they carry my bag, I'm like, fuck it, I'll go. Or like I'll do like events and they're like, well, we'll send a car out for you, and I'm like, I'll get a train. So
Yeah, yes.
I'm a bit like that. So, but I've been keeping on top of it and keeping just staying.
Yeah, don't buy into your own hype.
Yeah, stay real.
That's why you have to keep people around you who are like, relax.
Yeah.
Like you're not all that. And I think my family does that for me too. They're just like, you're just a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's 100% what I'd say. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. It's been great.
Thank you everyone for watching and listening. Rate, review, subscribe, do all the things. Thanks again. Bye.
Bye.
That's it. That's great.
That's good, yeah?
That was awesome.